Our scripture for today glances once more at Paul's letter to the Galatians, his heartfelt plea to the people who are confused. We'll read just these few verses from chapter 4. I'll read the words in yellow and invite you to read aloud together the words in white. As you know, it was because of an illness that I first preached the gospel to you.
And even though my illness was a trial to you, you did not treat me with contempt or scorn. Instead, you welcomed me as if I were an angel of God, as if I were Christ Jesus himself.
Where then is your blessing of me now? I can testify that if you could have done so, you would have torn out your eyes and given them to me.
Have I now become your enemy by telling you the truth?
Those people are zealous to win you over, but for no good. What they want is to alienate you from us so that you may have zeal for them.
It is fine to be zealous, provided the purpose is good, and to be so always, not just when I am with you.
My dear children, for whom I am again in the pains of childbirth, until Christ is formed in you.
How I wish I could be with you now and change my tone, because I am perplexed about you.
I'd like to draw your attention to the screen for a short video before I begin.
Thank you for your time and welcome to our focus group. Today we're going to show you an idea and ask for your opinion. This is called a wheel. Now, according to its developers, it'll change the way we work and live. Why? Because it rolls. It can also be added to wagons to make moving a heavy load easier. Your opinions?
If it rolls, that means it could roll away and get lost, right? Or it could roll over your foot. It's the round shape that disturbs me. It's very feminine. I can't imagine any caveman wanting to be seen with that.
I wouldn't.
And this added to wagons thing, it sounds very complicated. Is there an easier version?
You know what?
Do you have it in square?
No square.
If there was a square one,
Yeah?
it didn't roll. Then maybe I would think about buying one. Nice try. The wheel.
Someone used to say that a church committee is a place where good ideas go to die. But perhaps human beings have just been very skilled at killing good ideas from the very beginning. Finding reasons to reject it. Why? Because we're so totally committed to the status quo. Because sometimes the easiest thing in the world is to say no. Because it calls us to use our imagination, and that's just too much for. Paul has brought a new idea to the Galatians. In effect, he brought a new idea to the whole of Southeast Asia, Southern Asia, Eastern Europe. That you're saved by grace. That there are no qualifications. And there are no exceptions. But they just can't accept this new idea. It just will not settle. It has not settled in 2,000 years. No, there's got to be a catch. There's got to be a qualification. There's got to be something that somebody's not missing. Not saying that we're all missing. If an idea sounds too good to be true, it probably isn't. And so, of course, they were eager, open, ready to accept the naysayers that came to town. Now, I knew there was something wrong with this whole idea. You nailed it on the head. I feel so much better now, knowing that God's love is not unconditional, knowing that grace is not eternal, universal, and without limit. It feels so much better to live within the comfort zone of knowing there are some people in and some people out. That there are some whose behavior disqualifies them, and some of us who, by our behavior, can earn our rightful place within the chosen and the elect. That's what I'm used to. Being part of the in crowd doesn't seem to mean anything if there's not an out crowd. That's where I'm comfortable. That's what I believe. Thank you for bringing me the resolution to the chaos and confusion in my mind. Much, much, much too far away. Paul just doesn't understand it, can't get it. You seem to understand what I had to say. You seem to rejoice in the good news. You liked the good idea. You thought this was wonderful. You were totally on board. What happened? And in this chaos, he discovers yet another eternal truth. That dealing with human beings is a pain. Yeah, there's some joy and there's some satisfaction and there's, some celebration now and then, but dealing with people is a pain. He compares it to childbirth. In fact, what often happens, I think, in our experience is that we got to the point where we have experienced so much pain caused by other people that sometimes that's all we see. Sometimes we reach a point in our life where we have just been drowning in pain, that's all we can see. And if it wasn't caused by somebody else, we can still certainly find someone to blame. People are pain. Sometimes we wonder, dear God, I understand why you love me, but I don't get why you love them. Sometimes we think it, we don't say it. But Paul's message in the midst of truly bitter anguish in this letter It's just like a lover writing a letter to someone who has betrayed him. Every bit the passion, every bit the confusion, every bit the heartbreak of any love letter ever written. In the midst of it all, he still has enough vision to compare it to the pain of childbirth. For most, at least it's a hopeful pain. For most, at least it's a promising pain. For most, at least, there is something new and wonderful and life-changing after the pain. I asked Sally to put a picture of a relatively newborn baby on the screen, so she picked her grandchild. One of the reasons grandchildren are so wonderful is because the grandmother doesn't have to go through the pain of childbirth, right? But what a hopeful vision to be able to say to them, trying to help you is painful, but I still believe it's worth it. Trying to help you see this abundant grace of God is sometimes devastating to my heart, but it's still worth it. And if the process is painful for you too, I want you to know that you'll end up grateful. You'll end up amazed. You'll be surprised that life can be as blessed as it will become. Life, people, can be all such a pain, but surely the most devastating pain is the hopeless pain. And Paul injects hope into the most frustrating, heartbreaking, devastating relationship he ever knew with the churches of Galatia. So perhaps the message to us is simple. That no matter what kind of pain we're experiencing, whether it's with a spouse, or our children, or our parents, or our neighbors, or our friends, or our church, or our community, our country, whatever it is, whatever kind of pain we're experiencing, whether we feel betrayed, or lost, or forgotten, or forsaken, there is still hope for us. Doesn't take the pain away, but it makes it endurable. It allows us to hang on, to hold together. Because there's something new and life-giving and precious on the other side of the pain. It might very well simply be the new us, molded, filtered, transformed by the pain, It might simply be our new ability, our new confidence, our new trust. That if God could see us through that devastation, there's nothing that can destroy us. Because there's truly nothing, I don't think, more life-giving than being able to see once again the hope and promise and splendor of life after it was almost taken from you. After you've given up on yourself, or given up on someone you loved, or given up on people, or given up on church, or given up on God, to somehow emerge out of that pain into a new faith, a new hope, a new life. Paul saw it in the future of the Galatians, and he trusted in it for his own future. That somehow, through all this pain, we'll find bliss. Somehow through all this pain, we'll find strength. Somehow through all this pain, we'll find wisdom. Somehow through all this pain, we'll discover how much we need each other. Somehow through all this pain, we'll discover how much we have to offer each other. Somehow through all this pain, we'll discover what's really important in life, and all the fluff and triviality will fade into the distance. And once we discover what's really important in life, we'll discover as well that God has already provided it, and it is without end. It's not that good, faithful people don't experience pain. It's not that good, faithful people don't experience fear or frustration or despair. It's that somehow by the grace of God, through the pain, God injects some hope that allows us to keep moving through it. Clearing our vision, allowing us to experience even more fully the depth and the power of God's love and the precious gift that each moment brings. A life that is blessed through all the pain. If Paul could believe it, after all he had poured out for the churches of Galatia, and all that they had thrown aside and the way they trampled him and his teachings, if Paul could somehow believe that it was still worthwhile to reach out to those who betrayed him, that there was still hope for them, maybe it's not so hard for us to believe. There's hope for any one of us. There's hope for that person we love that sometimes seems beyond help. There's hope for those people that we so violently disagree with and turns our stomach. There's hope. May we always see it in abundance. Let us pray. Through all the pains and realities of life, oh God, we have come to believe that your grace is believable, that your love is unlimited, that it's not an illusion or a fairy tale, but the truth that transcends all of our experiences. And it brings us healing. That makes us whole. For all those moments in our lives, oh God, in the midst of our pain and suffering and despair, we have found you faithful. And in all the pain and discouragement that remains, we will cling to our hope and trust in your faithfulness, praying that you'll not only see us through, but help us provide witness to the rest of the world, to the rest of our community, to the rest of our church,